Welcome to my channel Daily Bulletin News. Just as Rafe prepares to propose, Jada's arrest goes horribly wrong, plus, Tate makes his choice. On today's Days of Our Lives, Philip double-checks that Kate believes he's in the dark about Vivian forging the letter to Victor. Vivian confirms she is, and assures Philip that his mom won't be any problem. Philip doubts it, but Vivian promises that his mom caved after they talked, and she offered money and power. Vivian asks about how things went with Xander, and Philip promises he'll handle his brother. He's worried about his mom, though. Vivian reassures him that Kate is in their corner and they both agree he's the true heir to Victor. She then feigns a headache and tells him to get his mother an aspirin. "You're not actually my mother." In the pub, Kate flashes back to Vivian promising to cut her in with Titan money going to body and soul. Shortly after, she shows up at the police station to report a crime to Jada. One of Salem's most notorious criminals is in town. She then, with no small amount of satisfaction, tells Jada about Vivian. After the cop runs off, she calls Philip and tells him she needs to talk to him, now. Rafe gets home from physical therapy as Gabby's going through her divorce paper. He's sorry it actually went through, her doubts and all. But then he notices she hasn't signed, at which point she makes an excuse about the pens having no ink. Rafe tests one out, realizes she's making excuses and tells her to talk to Stefan. Just then, Javi comes dancing into the room to Rafe's happy surprise and the cousins greet each other. He asks why Gabby didn't mention he was visiting, and Javi's response is, "Didn't Gabby tell you? I'm here to stay. I'm moving in." Gabby explains that Rafe and Jada were asleep when they got back from the bar drowning her divorce sorrows, and Rafe tells him there's plenty of room for him. They then move to talk about Rafe getting his aunt's engagement ring, but when he asks where it is, Javi holds up his hand. "It's right here, primo." He says he tried it on and it fits so well, he thinks he might keep it. They tiff good-naturedly a bit about the ring, but then Rafe says he was planning on giving it to someone. He wants to propose to Jada. Fine, Javi admits, that's romantic. Gabby joyfully congratulates Rafe, who says he's been thinking of it ever since coming out of his coma, and there's no time like the present to propose. After he leaves, Javi asks for the tea on Jada. In short, she's fabulous, you'll love her. They make a beautiful couple and Rafe deserves happiness after 3 failed marriages. A record which she's about to tie. At home, Tate tells his dad about Holly's visit and apology. Brady, though, can tell that Tate isn't sure about getting back together. So the teen haltingly admits that he slept with another girl. "When did this happen?" his dad asks. Tate admits it was last night, in their home and with Sophia. But he feels guilty because he thought things with Holly were over. Brady asks Tate what he wants, and while he doesn't regret sleeping with Sophia, he likes Holly more. Brady interprets that as his son wanting to get back with Holly. But Tate realizes he just slept with Sophia, and who does that, then dumps them the next day. Brady doesn't have easy answers, but says Tate isn't doing Sophia any favors by staying with her out of guilt or obligation. With that said, Ava told Brady that Sophia has very strong feelings for Tate. In the end, he can't get out of this without hurting someone. So he has to be honest with himself. And with Holly and Sophia, including coming clean about sleeping with Sophia. It'll be hard, but Brady believes in him and loves him. Oh, and if you ever invite a girl to sleep over and don't ask my permission, you are super grounded. Holly runs into Sophia in the square where they trade a few barbs before Sophia says there's something her frenemy, or just flat-out enemy at this point, should know about her and Tate. All she says, though, is that she and Tate were hanging out while Holly was away. Old news. Tate already told Holly, and she told him she wants to get back together. They fight over whether Tate should ever forgive Holly, who says Tate seemed pretty cool about her. But she admits he didn't take her back, just yet. They then fight some more over who's the biggest social media stalker. But before they part, Sophia says there's something else to consider. Before she can break the news about sleeping with him, Sophia's mom calls and Holly leaves her in a huff. Philip cheerfully greets Kate in the pub, only for her to chide him for sneaking into town again without telling her. And now he's in league with her sworn enemy. "So does the crypt keeper know that you came to see me?" She doesn't, so Kate says she needs to tell him something, but Philip beats her to the whole letter forging thing. She hates to admit it, but Vivian is right and Philip should be running Titan. But now that Vivian has fulfilled her purpose, she needs to go. Philip says he can't get rid of her, it was her idea. "Oh, honey, don't worry about that. I already took care of it." Philip's impressed that Kate lied to Vivian, pumped her for information and turned her in. His mom admits that Kate Roberts considered scheming, But Mrs. Roman Brady wouldn't do that. Over at the inn, Jada bursts into Vivian's room and arrests her. Vivian just shakes her head. Vivian knows the shtick, and it doesn't take long to realize Kate turned her in. Holly's checking her phone at the Kuriaki's mansion when Tate shows up. He wants to get back together and he forgives her. Holly's overjoyed, right up until he tells her about his night with Sophia. "You slept with Sophia? I think I'm going to be sick." He then shifts course and says he wants to be with Holly, but has to see where things go with Sophia. He apologizes some more and slinks out. In the show's final moments, Javi tells Gabby he's still rooting for her and Stefan, and clearly so is she since she hasn't signed. But no, she has to face that her marriage is done. Javi tells her to talk to Stefan face to face. They divert a bit to talk about Mateas, who he almost married, but then get back to her talking to Stefan, and now's a good time to do it. Kate promises she won't rat Philip out. He deserves the company, and don't worry about Vivian. She won't blow things up because she can't risk adding fraud to her charges. Rafe gets to the station, but doesn't see Jada. Over at the Salem Inn, Vivian demands a lawyer, but as Jada's escorting her out, Rafe calls. He asks if she wants a bite after she gets back, then when he finds out who she's arresting, warns Jada to be careful. Just then, on the other end of the line, Rafe hears Jada yelling and a gunshot. Stay tuned and subscribe the channel.